Hello everyone. Today in this video lecture we are going to study about embryology of nervous system. I mean how nervous system is formed. In this video lecture we are going to study. This video I am making for a special person like in the next upcoming years I will share it with many people, but till that this is for someone. So embryology of nervous system. See, in the intrauterine life, what happens to the intrauterine life? There is the formation of three germinal layers, like you have studied in your 9th or 10th class. Like our whole body is made up of three layers. So I think at the 20th day of intrauterine life, you see trilaminar germ disc. Trilaminar germ disc means a disc containing three layers. This layer is the ectoderm, this middle one is the mesoderm, and the ventral one is endoderm. Now our nervous system or animal nervous system is derived from ectoderm. This is the ectoderm. This layer is the ectoderm. Now in the ventral end of this ectoderm you are seeing a groove or depression like thing. This is the neural groove. What is this neural groove? Now this neural groove forms the neural tube. Now what is this neural tube? This is the neural tube. As you can see, it's a tube kind of a structure, like a tube. So neural tube is formed by this neural groove. Now what leads to the formation of this neural tube? When there is a formation of notochord, like it is notochord, when there is the formation of notochord and somites, then there is the formation of neural tube. There is a question also asked in PG exams, like which is the primary organizer for development of neural tube. So it is notochord, which is the primary organizer of development of neural tube. So whenever we have a formation of notochord, then we would be having the formation of neural tube. Here you can see this is the ectoderm, and this ectoderm has a groove here. This is the neural groove. This neural groove after some times bends in this fashion to make a tube. This is the neural tube. Now between this neural tube and this ectoderm, between the ectoderm and neural tube there are certain cells. These cells are known as neural crest cell. Now an animal nervous system is derived wholly from this neural tube and neural crest cells. This neural groove fusion starts craniocaudally. Craniocaudally means from the head to tail region it forms a tube kind of a thing, and there are certain cells which are between this neural tube and ectoderm. And like here you can see these are the neural crest cells. This neural crest cell form the peripheral nervous system, and this neural tube forms the central nervous system. Now what is this central nervous system? Central nervous system comprises of brain and spinal cord. Similarly, peripheral nervous system contains all the nerves associated with brain and spinal cord. So PNS, peripheral nervous system, is formed by neural crest cells, and central nervous system forms by neural tube. Now how this brain and spinal cord are formed by neural tube? See, neural tube has certain epithelial cells. Which cells? Epithelial cells. These are known as neural epithelial cells. These are nothing but stem cells which can form any type of cell. These cells differentiates into neurons and neuroglia. See, neural epithelial cells in the neural tube has been differentiated into neuroblast cells and spongioblast. Neuroblast cells form the neurons, and spongioblast cells form the neuroglia, which is the supporting cells. So these are formed by the neuroepithelial cells. These are the stem cells. Now you can see here is a neural canal. If this is a tube, between this tube or in the anterior and posterior end we have certain foramens. These are known as neural pore, and along this neural pore there is a canal that is known as neural canal. In this neural canal we have amniotic fluid, which after the birth changes into cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, it's a precursor of cerebrospinal fluid. Now you can see this was the neural tube, and what will happen to neural tube? It will form three primary vesicles. Like you can see the uppermost vesicle, or we can say the dorsal vesicle, is known as prosencephalon, which is the forebrain. The middle one is the mesencephalon, which is the midbrain, and the ventral one is the rhombencephalon, which is the hindbrain. I will repeat, it is prosencephalon, which is the forebrain, mesencephalon, which is the midbrain, and rhombencephalon, which is the hindbrain. Now this prosencephalon, or we can say these three primary vesicles, changes to the 5 secondary brain vesicles. Now this prosencephalon changes to telencephalon. What is this telencephalon? This is nothing but cerebrum. This diencephalon, it is in diencephalon we will find the eye cap, thalamus, hypothalamus and epithalamus. Then this mesencephalon forms the midbrain. And finally this rhombencephalon changes into metencephalon, which constitutes of pons and cerebellum, and this myelencephalon finally forms the medulla oblongata. So this was all about the formation of brain. By which thing? By this neural tube. This neural tube firstly differentiated into 3 primary vesicles. Then these 3 primary vesicles form 5 secondary vesicles, which constitute nothing but brain. So you have to remember these names. If you will revise it continuously, you will get all these terms on your tips. Now let us study the formation of spinal cord. In the caudal region, this would be the caudal region of neural tube. In the caudal region of neural tube, we have myelencephalon, which forms the medulla oblongata. This is the myelencephalon, which forms the medulla oblongata. Now, after this neural tube in the caudal and the cells present there goes under rapid mitosis, and here this neural tube divides into 3 zones. This inner one is the matrix zone, outer to this yellow region is the mental zone, and lateral to it we have marginal zone. This matrix zone lines the neural cavity and it has the neuroepithelial cells, which forms the layers of spinal cord, the meninges of spinal cord, I would say. The mental zone, what would it do? It would having certain, not particularly meninges, but it will form the layers of spinal cord. Which thing? Matrix zone, the inner one. The mental zone will form the gray matter of spinal cord. As you can see, this is the gray matter of spinal cord, this butterfly shaped, and it is formed by the mental zone of neural tube, and this marginal zone forms the white matter of the spinal cord. Now you will say, what is this gray matter and white matter? Gray matter is nothing but the accumulation of cell bodies, and white matter is nothing but accumulation of axons. Okay, and if the cell bodies are there in the PNS, accumulation of cell bodies in PNS, it would be known as what? Ganglia. And the accumulation of cell bodies in CNS, it would be known as nuclei. So this was all about the embryology of nervous system. Thanks.